The alien ship drifts through the black silence of deep space, its silver hulls scarred from old battles as it glides above the shattered moons of Zartos, each moon cracked like broken glass glowing faintly from within, as if light itself is trying to escape the gravity of old destruction. The alien crew moves nervously, their voices low, their eyes darting toward the glowing planet below, for Zartos is not just another world, it is the tomb of the dragon, Vorthon, the one whose name carries fear across galaxies. No one dares to speak, too loud the air inside. The ship feels heavy, as though the ghost of the dragon still breathes through the void. Commander Rin watches the surface through the viewing glass, his 4 eyes narrowing as ancient readings flash across the monitors, his voice a soft growl when he speaks, saying the readings are unstable. The ground is alive. The old energy signature matches the one from the records, the one that destroyed their home planet long ago. The younger aliens whisper about the legend of Vorthon. They say he was created when stars collided in the early age of the universe. They say his wings are made from the dust of dead suns and his heart burns with the fire of creation itself. They say no weapon, no fleet and no god could ever control him, and yet long ago the dragon vanished into the crust of Zartos, his fury buried beneath stone and silence until now the planet below burns faintly with crimson light. Rivers of molten glass flow through dark valleys and winds howl through canyons carved by forgotten storms. No life moves, no sound, except the slow rumble that rises from deep within the planet. Like a giant heartbeat, the ship lowers into orbit systems, trembling as if afraid. The scanners blink, unstable readings, power flux rising, seismic pulses beyond scale, and the commander knows what it means, but he does not speak it aloud. Far across the bridge, a human research vessel hovers, smaller and fragile compared to the alien warship, its hull reflecting the starlight like a fragile shell of hope. The humans have come seeking unity, to build peace between races, to study the energy of Zartos. Not knowing the danger beneath the surface, on board Dr. Alara Hayes studies the readings, her mind sharp, her heart determined to prove that peace can exist between humans and alien kind. She does not believe in myths, she believes in data. But standing beside her is her daughter Lily, a small girl, no older than 7, her eyes wide with wonder pressed against the glass, staring at the red planet below. She does not see danger, she sees beauty, she sees light dancing over stone like fireflies, and her voice breaks the silence of the bridge when she whispers that the planet looks sad. The aliens turn to look at her, confused by the innocence of her words, while her mother smiles weakly and strokes her hair, trying to quiet the unease that settles over them. Allows the 2 ships descend through the atmosphere. The clouds twist and swirl, lightning arcs across the red sky, and a deep echo rolls through the ground. The aliens glance at each other, knowing the stories were true. The dragon is not dead, only dreaming, waiting for something to call him awake. And beneath the trembling crust of Zartos, a single golden eye opens slowly, and the universe holds its breath. The human research vessel shudders as it cuts through the storm clouds of Zartos. Lightning dances across the hull, painting the sky in streaks of blue and red. The engines hum under strain, but still they push forward. Dr. Alara Hayes grips the console, her eyes fixed on the data streaming across the screens. The readings are impossible. The energy levels are rising far beyond any known planetary source. The aliens from the warship orbiting above warn her through the comms that it is not safe to land, but Alara refuses to turn back. Her voice is calm, steady, filled with purpose. She tells her crew that peace requires risk, that discovery is never born from comfort. The alien commander Rin listens in silence, his instincts screaming to stop her, yet something in the way she speaks reminds him of his own people. Before the war, before fear and fire consumed their world, he orders his ship to stay close, ready to intervene, though he doubts even their weapons could save her. If the legend awakens, Lily sits strapped in her seat, eyes wide as the ship shakes. She watches through the viewport as the clouds part, revealing the world below, mountains that glow like burning coals, rivers that shimmer with molten light, valleys filled with fog and silence. She whispers softly, asking if the planet is alive, and the crew exchange uneasy glances. Her mother smiles, though her voice trembles as she says, "Maybe in a way it is, Lily, maybe it is just sleeping." When the ship lands, the ground trembles, a low hum passes through the metal, like a heartbeat, and the humans step out onto the alien soil, their boots sinking into red dust that glows faintly beneath. Each step the air tastes metallic, sharp with energy. The landscape stretches endless and silent, broken only by distant pillars of black stone-shaped like claws reaching for the sky. The aliens watch from orbit, their scanners picking up faint movements, deep below the surface movements, too large to be natural. Lara begins setting up her equipment, determined to trace the energy pulse to its source. She does not see the way the fog ripples around them like breath. She does not notice the faint, golden flicker beneath the rock as she plants her instruments, but Lily does. The child stares at the ground, her small hands clenched. She hears something, a sound so faint it might be only in her mind. A slow rumble like a giant sigh calling her name, though no one else hears it. The crew works quickly, but unease spreads among them. The air grows heavy, the sky darker. Winds pick up, carrying whispers that sound almost like voices speaking in a language older than time. The instruments begin to shake, lights flicker, readings spike. Dr. Alara frowns, tapping the screens, but the child steps closer to the cliff edge. Drawn by the unseen force, she looks down into the mist-filled valley below, and for an instant she sees it, a shape vast and sleeping, scales that shimmer with the color of dying stars. Her breath catches, and the world seems to stop. The mist swirls as if the planet itself is breathing. The crew shouts for her to step back, but Lily does not move. She feels no fear, only warmth. In her chest, a strange peace that tells her she is meant to be here. She whispers softly to the sleeping giant below, a whisper that disappears into the wind. And somewhere deep in the planet, a heartbeat answers her call. The mist thickens as the sun fades behind the burning clouds. Shadows stretch across the red valley, and the air grows colder. The human crew works in silence, their scanners beeping in uneven rhythms like the nervous pulse of a living creature. Dr. Alara studies the readings, her brow furrowed. The energy surge is spreading in waves through the crust of the planet as something below is stirring, but the instruments cannot locate a single source. It is everywhere around them, inside the ground, the wind, the air itself. Lily stands apart from the others, her gaze locked on the canyon below, where the fog dances in slow circles. She can feel it again, that strange heartbeat deep in her chest, a rhythm that matches the tremors under her feet. She hears faint whispers curling through the air, like voices carried by the wind, soft and sorrowful, calling her name, in tones she does not understand. Yet somehow she knows they are not meant to frighten her. They sound lonely, ancient, and tired. Aliens aboard the warship orbiting above watch, the readings on their screens in growing fear. Commander Rin growls an order to prepare the energy cannons. Though he knows it will make no difference, he has seen these readings once before, on the day his world burned, when the same pulse rose from the sky, and the dragon Vorthan appeared in a storm of fire. He knows the pattern, he knows the end that follows, and yet he cannot look away. Below on the surface, the tremors intensify, cracks split, the ground glowing red at their edges, heat rising in shimmering waves. Dr. Alara shouts for her team to retreat to the ship, but before they can move, the sky flashes white, and a shockwave throws them to the ground. Equipment shatters, dust fills the air. The mountain behind them begins to move, like a living thing, rising higher and higher as rock and flame fall away to reveal scales black as night. The humans stare in disbelief as a head the size of a house lifts from the earth, molten veins running across its surface, eyes like twin stars opening for the first time in centuries. The dragon, Vorthan, exhales a sound that is neither roar nor breath, but a low, mournful echo that shakes the horizon. Dr. Alara freezes, her voice trapped in her throat, while her team scrambles for cover. The aliens in orbit scream through the comms, ordering an immediate evacuation, but it is too late. Lily stands still amidst the chaos, her small hands trembling, yet her eyes never leaving the creature before her. She does not see a monster, she sees pain. She feels it radiating through the air like heat. Through glass, the dragon looks down, and for a heartbeat the world falls silent, dust drifting in the golden light. She takes a step forward, then another, her voice barely a whisper as she speaks. Though no sound leaves her lips, the dragon hears her. The aliens watch in stunned silence, unable to believe what they see. The human child walking toward the beast that destroyed worlds, her tiny form dwarfed by its shadow. The sensors flare, the energy levels spike higher than ever recorded, and yet she keeps moving. The dragon lowers its head slowly, curiosity burning in its ancient eyes, as the girl reaches out her hand toward its face, and in that single, fragile moment between fear and wonder, the fate of galaxies begins to change. The air burns with the scent of ash and thunder as the great dragon rises from the heart of the mountain, each movement tearing rivers of molten light through the ground. The sky churns above, turning from crimson to black, lightning flashing in violent arcs across the horizon. The alien warship trembles in orbit, its crew shouting over the static as their scanners overload. Commander Rin grips the railing, his four eyes wide with disbelief. He has seen destruction before, but never like this, never something that breathes and bends. The laws of nature itself below the humans stumble, through dust and fire, struggling to reach their ship, their voices lost beneath the roar that shakes the heavens. Dr. Alara shouts for Lily, but the child does not answer. She stands at the edge of the fissure, her face lit by the glow of the awakening beast. The dragon moves slowly, its massive head emerging from smoke and shadow, eyes blazing gold like twin suns rising from the deep. Its wings unfold, stretching wider than the mountains, their edges slicing the storm. Clouds apart, the earth cracks open under its weight, rocks shatter, trees burst into flame, rivers of molten metal flow like blood through the canyon. The crew watches in helpless awe, knowing no escape, no weapon, no power could save them now. The dragon Thorfinn is awake after eons of silence. Its gaze falls upon the small human girl, standing unshaken before it, her hair whipping in the hot wind, her eyes filled not with terror but with wonder. The aliens on the warship beg the humans to retreat, but Alara cannot find her daughter. She searches through smoke, calling her name again and again, panic clawing at her voice, the sound of her heart louder than the thunder. Lily, she cries, but Lily cannot hear her. The dragon lowers its enormous head closer to the ground, its breath a hot wind that bends the air around it. The girl lifts her hand, reaching out, her small fingers trembling, yet steady, drawn by something she cannot explain. For a brief moment the dragon pauses, its nostrils flaring, as if it senses something different, something pure. It stares at the child, its gaze ancient and heavy, like the weight of forgotten stars. The ground stops trembling, the storm above slows, the lightning fades, as if the world itself holds its breath. Lily steps closer, her boots sinking into the ash, her voice soft as she speaks to the creature, words no one else can hear. Alara sees her and runs through the burning dust, her body shaking with fear, her lungs screaming with every breath. The aliens shout for her to stop, the scanners flashing red, the energy levels spiking higher and higher, but it is too late. The moment has already begun, the moment that will echo through the stars. The dragon lowers its head until its glowing eyes are level with the girl, its breath washing over her like fire and wind. She reaches out her hand and lays it gently against the scales. The heat should burn, but it does not. Instead, the world grows quiet, the fire dies to embers, and the storm breaks into light as the impossible connection forms between the smallest heart and the most feared being in the galaxy. A golden light spreads from the place where the little girl's hand meets the dragon's scales. It flows outward, like ripples in water, washing over stone and flame, until the valley glows as if filled with liquid sunlight. The humans fall silent, their fear replaced by disbelief. The dragon Vorthan, who once tore planets apart, stands motionless, its colossal body trembling under the touch of a child. Its eyes flicker between rage and confusion, and something else, something it has not felt since the dawn of creation. Alara collapses to her knees, tears streaming down her face, her heart unable to understand what she is seeing. Her daughter standing before a creature older than galaxies, untouched by the fires that surround her. The air hums with energy, but it is no longer the cold pulse of destruction. It feels alive, it feels gentle, it feels like the heartbeat of something that has remembered how to dream. The alien Commander Rin stares at his screens in awe, his crew frozen around him, weapons forgotten. For the first time in centuries he witnesses power that brings peace instead of ruin. The dragon lowers its head further, the light in its eyes softening. The storm above breaks apart as shafts of pure white sunlight pierce through the dark clouds, falling on the child like a blessing. Lily smiles, her small hands still resting against the creature's nose. She whispers softly words that no one else can hear, her voice calm and filled with kindness. The dragon tilts its massive head closer and exhales a long, deep breath that smells of rain and smoke, and something ancient like the scent of stars being born. The wind shifts across the valley, carrying warmth instead of ash. The ground stops trembling. The rivers of molten fire cool and turn to glass, reflecting the strange golden light that fills the air. Dr. Alara rises slowly, her fear melting into awe. She takes a hesitant step forward, calling her daughter's name softly. The aliens on the warship lean closer to their screens, unable to look away, their scanners now reading something impossible. The energy signature of the dragon has changed. It is no longer destructive, it is harmonicron. Whispers to himself in disbelief. The dragon is responding to her. It listens to her like a god listens to prayer. His crew nods speechless, none daring to break the silence for fear that even a word might end the miracle. Lily turns and sees her mother, her face bright with joy. She waves once, and the dragon follows her gaze, its golden eyes locking onto the human woman for a heartbeat. The alien commander's chest tightens as he feels something he thought long lost: hope, pure and terrifying in its beauty. The dragon slowly folds its wings, the motion stirring the air like a gentle storm, and lowers its body to the ground beside the child as if kneeling in surrender. The valley glows brighter, the silence stretches across the world, until even the stars above seem to pause in their eternal motion, and in that stillness, every being who witnesses the moment understands that something greater than fear has awakened, that the deadliest creature in the galaxy has been touched by kindness and found peace. The valley lies still beneath the fading storm, the sky now painted in gold and silver. Clouds drifting slowly, as if the world itself is exhausted. The dragon remains motionless, its wings folded, its head resting near the child, the light from its scales dimming into soft glimmers, like dying embers. Each breath it takes shakes the ground, yet there is no fear in that sound, only peace. The humans watch from a distance, too afraid to move, too afraid to believe that what they see is real. It stands beside the dragon, her small hand still pressed against its warm nose. She feels its heartbeat steady and deep, echoing through her body, the rhythm strong and gentle like the sea. She looks into its eyes and sees galaxies spinning, whole worlds reflected in the golden depths of its gaze. She whispers again, a single word lost to everyone else. But the dragon hears and answers with a low rumble that rolls across the valley like a hymn. Alara moves closer, her boots crunching on glass cooled from molten fire, her hands shaking. She calls softly to her daughter, her voice filled with awe and fear. The dragon turns its head slightly and looks at her. The humans freeze, expecting the fire, the roar, the end, but none comes. Instead, the creature blinks slowly and lowers its gaze, as if recognizing her as the mother of the one who touched its soul. The air warms around them, the light softens until it feels like dawn. Up above, the alien warship floats. Silent Commander Rin cannot speak. He watches the creature that haunted his people for generations, now lying still before a human child. His crew waits for orders, but none come. The commander removes his battle mask, his breath catching in his throat. He whispers that they are witnessing the impossible. He remembers the stories from his ancestors, how the dragon was once the guardian of stars before anger consumed it. He wonders if the child has reminded it of what it once was. On the surface, the wind changes, carrying with it the scent of life. The ashes settle, flowers long extinct begin to bloom along the cracks, glowing faintly as if waking from a long dream. The humans stare in wonder. The energy readings shift again, dropping from chaos into harmony like a perfect song. The planet itself seems to sigh in relief. The dragon's eyes close halfway, its body relaxing, its chest rising and falling in slow, steady motion. Lily sits down beside the creature, resting her small head against its scales. She feels warmth, not heat, but the comfort of something alive and kind. Dr. Alara kneels beside her, tears in her eyes. She reaches out to touch the dragon too. For a moment, her fingers tremble over its skin. Then she feels the pulse beneath her palms, strong, calm, ancient, the heartbeat of something that has chosen peace over rage. The aliens record everything, unable to comprehend it. They will later speak of this moment as the day the dragon's breath turned from fire to light, the day fear ended, the day a little girl reminded the universe that even monsters can be healed. And as the last light of the storm fades into twilight, the dragon opens one eye again and watches the stars above, as if seeing them for the first time in eternity. The sun begins to rise over the shattered peaks of Zartos, its light spilling across the valley, turning the cooled glass to rivers of gold. The dragon stirs slowly, its massive wings shifting with a sound like thunder rolling across the sky. The humans shield their eyes from the brightness. The aliens in orbit watch in reverent silence, their scanners unable to define what they are seeing. The energy readings now form perfect symmetry, an impossible balance between destruction and creation. Lily steps forward again, her eyes glowing with reflected light, her hair lifting slightly in the warmth of the dragon's breath. She feels its heartbeat through the ground, each pulse strong enough to move dust and stone. Her mother calls out to her, softly, afraid to disturb the fragile peace, but Lily only smiles. She reaches out her hand and lays it once more upon the dragon's nose. The air hums like a living song. The creature lowers its head further until its golden eyes are level with hers. The Aliens whisper among themselves, voices trembling with disbelief. Commander Rin stares through the viewport, unable to move, his heart torn between fear and wonder. He knows he should give the order to retreat, yet something inside him refuses. He cannot look away. The scene below feels sacred, as if to speak would be to profane it. He realizes the dragon is no longer a weapon, no longer the destroyer. His ancestors feared it as something else now, something reborn. Alara stands frozen, her mind racing, her heart aching. She watches her daughter, and the ancient beast, her body trembling with both terror and pride. She whispers that Lily must come back, but her voice is lost in the wind. The child takes one final step, her boots sinking softly into the dust. She leans forward and presses her lips against the dragon's nose, a gesture so small it seems impossible to matter, yet the world responds as if creation itself has been touched. Light bursts from the point of contact, flooding the valley. The sky splits with color, waves of blue and gold ripple outward through the air, reaching the edges of the atmosphere. The alien warship rocks under the force, but the commander does not flinch. He watches in awe as the light expands beyond sight through the void of space, carrying warmth across the cold stars. The dragon exhales a single breath that sounds like a sigh, and with it, the last of the storm. Clouds dissolve, revealing the endless sky above. Its eyes soften, the fire within them replaced by calm. It lowers its massive head to the ground beside the girl, closing its eyes as if to rest for the first time in 1,000 years. The humans fall to their knees, unable to speak, their fear gone, replaced by tears of pure wonder. The aliens above record the moment, their voices quiet, as if afraid to disturb it. They know that history has changed, that no war, no empire, no weapon could ever compare to what has just happened. A child's kiss has done what galaxies of armies could not. It has turned the destroyer of worlds into a guardian of life, and as the light fades from the sky, the planet Zartos begins to bloom. Once more, its red dust giving way to green fields, its silence replaced by the soft whisper of rebirth. The light fades gently across the horizon, leaving trails of gold drifting through the air like dust from shattered stars. The valley once filled with fire now lies calm, rivers of molten glass cooled into crystal plains, reflecting the pale sky above. The dragon rests its head on the earth, eyes closed, wings folded, the sound of its breathing deep and steady, echoing through the mountains like the rhythm of a sleeping god. The humans stand in silence, unsure if they should move or even breathe. Alara steps forward slowly, her body trembling, every sense alive with awe. She reaches her daughter and gathers her into her arms, her tears falling onto the girl's hair. She wants to speak, but the words will not come. Lily looks up at her mother and smiles, her eyes bright with warmth. She whispers softly that the dragon is not angry anymore, that it was only lonely. The mother holds her tighter, unable to answer. Above them, the alien warship drifts through the thinning clouds. Commander Rin stands at the viewing glass, unable to tear his gaze away from the world below. His crew gathers around him in silence, their monitors filled with readings that defy science. The power levels once destructive now pulse in harmony like music. He lowers his head in respect, his voice soft as he tells his crew to record everything, not as data but as truth. The truth that even the deadliest being in existence can change. Messages race through the alien channels across the void to distant fleets and outposts. Reports of what has happened on Zartos travel faster than light. Commanders, scholars, and leaders of 100 worlds listen in disbelief and silence. Some refuse to believe, calling it an illusion, a trick, but others weep at the thought that peace might still be possible, that the universe still holds mercy within its stars. On the surface, the humans begin to explore again, but carefully, as if afraid to disturb a sleeping spirit. The planet itself seems transformed, the air rich and soft, flowers glowing along the canyon walls, water flowing again where none had been for centuries. Every living thing moves with quiet purpose, as if the world remembers what it means to live. The dragon does not stir, but its presence fills every corner, its warmth radiating through the soil and stone. Alara kneels beside the creature, her hand resting gently on its scales. She whispers her thanks to something far older than she can comprehend. She looks at Lily, who sits calmly near the dragon's nose, her small fingers tracing shapes in the dust. The child hums softly a tune she has never learned and yet somehow knows. The sound echoes faintly through the valley, resonating in the air like a lullaby for a giant. Commander Rin sends one final transmission across the stars, his voice steady though his heart trembles. He declares that the war between their worlds is over, that life must honor what they have seen today. He looks one last time at the planet, and says that a child has done what no army ever could. She has reminded them that power is not strength, that peace is not weakness, and far beneath the fading sky the dragon opens, one eye glowing faintly gold, watching the two humans beside it, and for the first time in ages, the guardian of destruction feels something new. It feels content. The days pass slowly on the planet of Zartos. Though time feels different now, the storms are gone, the sky glows clear and blue, and the once scorched valleys are covered in soft green fields. The air hums gently with new life, flowers bloom along the rivers that flow where molten fire once burned, and the mountain that held the dragon sleeps in peace. The humans build a small camp near its base, not for study, but for silence. They no longer measure the creature, they simply watch it and breathe. In the calm it brings, Lily spends her days sitting beside the dragon, her feet swinging above the warm ground. She speaks to it in her soft voice about everything she sees, the colors of the sky, the strange new birds that sing the stories her mother tells at night. The dragon listens, its great golden eye half open, each word from the girl echoing in its chest like a song from another age. The bond between them glows unseen but felt by every living thing on the planet. Diara Lara writes her reports, but they are not filled with data or equations. They are filled with wonder and gratitude. She sends them to the Council of Planets, telling them what she has seen, what her daughter has done. Her words travel across the stars, reaching leaders and soldiers and scholars who all stop to read them. Their worlds pause, their wars hesitate even for a moment. The story spreads faster than any weapon ever built. The aliens aboard the warship remain in orbit, though their orders are long forgotten. Commander Rin speaks to his people through the galactic network, his voice filled with something they have never heard before, hope. He tells them that the ancient destroyer now rests, and that peace is no longer a dream. He says that if a child's heart can tame a god, then maybe their hatred can end. The message ripples through galaxies, stirring hearts in ways no weapon ever could. On Zartos, the dragon stirs one night, lifting its head toward the stars. The sky glitters with distant lights, the same lights it once burned with rage. Now it watches them with calm, its breath warm and deep. The humans wake and watch in silence. Lily stands and walks to its side, her hand resting gently against its scales. She whispers that it is free now, that it does not need to be afraid anymore. The dragon exhales slowly, the wind carrying the scent of new life across the valleys. Dawn breaks, the dragon rises, spreading its wings for the first time since its awakening. The ground trembles but softly. Like the heartbeat of the world, it looks down at Lily and lowers its head until their eyes meet once more. The child smiles and kisses its nose again. The light that follows is soft, not blinding but pure, like morning sunlight through leaves. The dragon lifts itself into the air, each wing beat echoing through the mountains until it disappears into the clouds. The humans and aliens watch the sky in silence. No one speaks, for there are no words worthy of what they have witnessed. They know this story will live forever, carried across the galaxies as a tale of hope and unity. They will tell their children that once upon a time on the burning world of Zartos, a little human girl kissed the nose of the galaxy's deadliest dragon and taught the stars what peace truly means.